Welcome to the Mask of Fear, ladies and gentlemen. People have been waiting for a very long time for some sort of tangible, official Halloween announcement. We tried to warn people last night. I know people seen the Halloween portal thing. Everybody jumped to it's the TV show. Oh, it's the movie. We'll talk about those things shortly, but our report last night on YouTube here and on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and many of the discussions that we've been having over the course of the last couple of months have been vindicated. It is the official announcement of the Halloween game. And Matt, I don't know if you remember, you and I did an episode of The Curse of Thorn over on our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I quote, there are single player options with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm very impressed to find out that it's more than just single player options with this game. There is a full on single player mode with
Nice.
this game. We've spoke about it for the last several months, how this game went through significant changes behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we talked about how boss team games, now I don't know if they're completely out. We're about to find that out. And to be clear, it is the game. The trailer is out. I know they said 4:15, but I'm telling you, we are all going to watch this trailer before 4:15 together, as long as I get my bloody laptop plugged in. I am sorry that I cannot appear on cam at the moment while doing this, because all of this happened a little quicker than what I was prepared for. Um, I basically got nudged and they're like, "Hey, check the link out." And sure enough, the link was there. And here we are. Halloween fans are not Halloween fatigued, but starving for
Yeah.
something tangible with Halloween.
Right.
And we're finally gonna get it. I know, the studio that is doing the game, like we've talked about for the last several months, is a studio that people didn't necessarily want doing the game, given some of their most recent history with Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have no idea if our stream's going to get taken down. If it does, what we will do, and we might do this anyways, is we will go record an official trailer reaction for our new Bannerman Banter channel and put it up over there. But why don't we dive into that? Again, I know people are going to be upset that it's not the TV show and it's not the movie, and we'll touch on that. We're not on here for too long today. Um, the truth is, I have my hands in a few YouTube channels now these days, and this week has been crazy for all of them. So I'm having a hard time keeping my head above water. Matt, why don't we give this thing a look and see what we get from it?
All right.
A quiet town, just like hundreds of other small towns all across America. A town just like yours. But it was here, on October 31st, 1963. No motive, no warning, no provocation, just senseless death. I met him 15 years ago. I thought there was hope, that he could be reached. But what I met was not a child. No emotion. Perhaps not even human. 15 years later, he returned home. But what happened that night was only the beginning. It wasn't just a killing spree, it was a reckoning.
Whoa, calm down, okay?
He was going for me to... come on,
What was
come on,
that?
we have to go.
No.
You can't stop him. You can't reason with him. You can't kill the boogeyman.
So there you have it, dude. Halloween, the game, a single player and multiplayer horror experience coming in, and we've been talking about this for a while. 2026. Always leave the window open, though, people, that if the game is not ready by fall of 2026, it could get delayed. This is a very common thing that happens in the gaming industry. Um, and if you see, it has everybody that's listed in this at the bottom. Compass, which is essentially Trancas. Further Point is still involved, but now we have Ilphonic and Gun. So our scoop, shall we say, that we've talked about for it's got to be a couple of months now, man. That Boss Team Games was out and
Mm-hmm.
Gun and Ilphonic was accurate. So not to toot our own horn, but it's nice to see that. Um, what do you think? I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty cool too. It kind of got giddy at the end when that chick was running out because I knew Michael was coming, and I was like, okay, what's he gonna look like? What's he gonna look like? Michael looks really good. The guy who's doing Loomis's voice was very good. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm impressed with what we saw there. Again, like there's a strong chance that's just cinematic footage and
Yeah.
not in-game engine or anything like that. But you get what we've talked about now for quite some time, and that is the Halloween. That we know who's involved with it: Gun, Elphonic, Compass, Further Point. Um, we know that it's 2026. So those that have tuned into our little channel here over the last couple of months or support us on Patreon have been vindicated knowing that we've been on point with this one. And I'm happy. Halloween fans deserve something. There's a section of the fan base, honestly, a bigger section than not, that just doesn't care about a game. They're not going to care about a game. And I understand that. I 100% understand that, man. Um, this is good news though. It's something significant. It's not a book, it's not a sticker collection or a vinyl.
Yeah.
It's something legitimately tangible, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with what they showed. And Michael did look good. I thought Michael looked a lot better there than he does in Dead by Daylight.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think he looks terrible in Dead by Daylight. I've always
Mm-hmm.
thought that. And that's not to knock Dead by Daylight because I know a lot of
That's a good,
people
pretty good game. Yeah.
really, really like that game, and I can
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. I'm not a big fan of the game, but we don't know a whole lot yet. I'm curious if the Halloween Twitter slash X has been updated yet. Um, we'll we'll see. I'm guessing they're just going to retweet this out, but it's possible they're doing a press release with more information. I wouldn't rule that out, but my guess is they just moved it up with the trailer coming out this way. No, they still haven't updated crap yet on their Twitter. But then again, we've spoke about Halloween Portal at length on our channel and how disastrously that whole thing has been run. So we'll see what they drop on their Twitter at 4:15. My guess is it's probably just going to be a link to this trailer here, which they may or may not know is out. But I'm hopeful for some sort of tangible press release that covers more. I think people should be excited though. I understand the skepticism. Gun media has earned that skepticism. Um, their support of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, specifically most recently, was not good in any way, shape, or form. Um, but at the same time, sometimes you got hits and sometimes you have misses. I enjoyed the Friday the 13th game. What I didn't enjoy was the poor support of the game and the fact that the game could have technically gone on and they bailed on it.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to play either of those
No, I
Friday the
played it.
13th?
I played
What
it
did you
Friday.
what did you think of that
I,
one?
I mean, I'm always gonna be a little partial to the NES one. I used to love that game when I was a young. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this trailer for the Halloween to me looked better than Halloween did.
You mean
Um,
Friday the 13th?
I mean, I'm sorry, Friday 13th did. And yeah, well, I mean, and I was right when I was starting to get into the game, is when everything started shut down. Like you couldn't
Right.
get the updates or anything, and I was just like, ugh. Because Randy was like, man, you gotta play it, you gotta play it. I'm like, just I like sticking to my Madden and everything. Because I'm mostly a sports game player, but I'll play some other games every once in a while. I was big into Halo, big into Halo. Um, but yeah, I was just so disappointed with how I mean Friday 13th, and I'm just hoping that they get this right, and I think they hope that they learn from their mistakes for Friday 13th, and they won't repeat them with Halloween.
Well, for those that have been subscribing to our Patreon, which you can get our bonus content at patreon.com/, the mask of fear. The link is in the description below. They know on an episode of Cursed Thorn, we talked about single player options that we heard about. Um, I'm curious of when they say a single player and multiplayer horror experience, are those single player options just going to be the ones that we heard about, which is essentially not really a story, but challenge modes, if you will, which I guess theoretically qualifies as single player options. But I think fans would even settle for a bare bones story rather than a challenge mode where you got to get X amount of kills in so many minutes, or you got to survive Michael for so long. Like, what is the single player experience with this game? The simple truth is, I can't sit here and tell you that we know, because that's information we would have covered on Patreon. But I can tell you at one point in time, when Boss Team Games was doing this game, which they're no longer doing, as we first reported here, and then I believe the guys over at Slash and Cast also reported it. Um, is it was just challenges, right? There was no tangible story mode. KJ doesn't think it looks good. I mean, here's the problem, KJ, is you have certain other content creators who've been going on for half a decade about how their ideal Halloween game would be something along the lines of Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption. And it's just fucking dumb shit, dumb, ill informed shit where that stuff was never, ever going to happen. Halloween does not have that type of reach in the gaming community, nor would they ever be able to put nine figures into a video game. Would never happen in a million years. So people then get this, you know, overblown expectations because of how big these other YouTube channels are of what to expect with a Halloween game. You know, we again, if you follow the content that we've covered here in the last couple of months, or if you're a Patreon member, you know Matt and I sat on our Curse of Thorns show and said, hey, there's a strong chance that they are just using the assets from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. This is not going to be photorealistic type video game like a Resident Evil or a Spider-Man. They don't have the budget to pull something like that off. It was always going to be something like this. Um, and I will say, I did not think the Loomis voiceover was great, but I could tell sometimes with the pitch and the tone that they were. That before he even revealed that it was Loomis, that that's where they were going with it. Um, so I'll agree with that, but I do think there has been overblown expectations of what to expect from this. And even I can sit here and say, even though I thought it did look good because I had my expectations properly in check, um, you know, I think gun media has earned all the skepticism from everyone. And, you know, I don't think anyone should think this is a slam dunk. I don't think it's a slam dunk. But I will say this, I think it's a decent little start. It looks more like a Telltale game, to be honest, than, a AAA mainstream game. Um, KJ says, I think Hellraiser looks good. They can't do something like that. Not with a studio like Gunman. And they were going to do something like that with a studio like Boss Team Games. Gun is being done by Saber Interactive, or pardon me, Hellraiser is being done by Saber Interactive. You look at what Saber Interactive is doing, they're doing Jurassic Park Survival. They're doing I believe it's John Carpenter's Toxic Commando game. They're doing the remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Like, until Halloween wants to, tie themselves to a studio like that, this is what you're going to get. It's going to feel a little cartoony and comic booky because even the Friday the 13th game, when you look back at it, asymmetrical horror game, that game was not photorealistic and it looked similar to this. I would say this looked a little more polished than that, but you know, this is where we are at the moment. Matt, thoughts?
I mean, like you were saying, well, we can't expect Halo or a type money going into this kind of type of game. It's just not. It's just not going to happen. But I think, like you said, take the proceeds from what was it? Texas Chainsaw. Learn from your mistakes with Texas Chainsaw and Friday 13th and apply them to this. And I think you can. I think this has the potential to knock it out of the park. I'm not saying it's going to be a knockout, but potentially it does. And I just noticed real quick with Dustin saying he wasn't a big fan of the Loomis voice. I think considering you're not going to get Loomis's voice or anything like that, I think that's a close second. It wasn't too bad.
Can you carry this for a second, Matt? I'm literally being messaged by one of our
All right,
sources right now,
all
and this
right,
thing drops in 3 minutes too. So
all right.
I would say this, man, like to go off this a bit. This game is likely not going to cost $100, and that's what a new game goes for these days.
Right.
Like, what's this game got? If this game is $60 or $70,
I was
what
going to say 50, 60.
what does it have to do to get you to buy it? More specifically, if you don't have a console that can play it, how much are you willing? Like, what do they have to do to get you all in on this thing?
I don't know what we can. It's a single player and a multiplayer. which is going to be awesome, I think. And then I think the fact that, like I said, if they're learning from their mistakes with the other two and they apply them to Halloween, they can. This could be a knockout. Just the trailer looks solid, not great, solid. And if you go back and I said if you go back and look at the old Friday 13th trailer, and I did before this, Halloween looks 10 times better. So so Dustin said it better be $40 US money or he will pass. I mean,
I don't know what a game goes for US. I know they're stupid expensive Canada, right?
well, I know like Madden, if you're just getting like the
No,
basic Madden,
Madden's a hundred
it's
hundred and ten
60.
dollar game in Canada.
I mean, if you're getting just like the basic, uh, don't get anything extra and everything. You're paying 60, I think, um, US. Uh, I would say my bet is Halloween's probably going to go for 50 US. Um, which it's not for something like for Halloween or something like this. It's that's probably not a bad price US. Um, Dustin says 70 US. I doubt it. I doubt it. Or are you saying Madden is 70 US? I doubt. Like I said, I doubt Halloween was uh 70 US. I don't think Friday 13th was the high end either. I think it was a little bit under. So I think it could have been like 50 or 60, which I think um is what uh Halloween will go for. And then Dustin also said
As I say, I can't
also
see the chat right now, so you're sort of carrying this at the moment.
the chat. Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat and then going from what he's saying. And Dustin also said, and also it needs to have gameplay shown, and then maybe I'll invest because I love the damn franchise. I think. Well, I mean, once it gets closer, we'll probably see a lot
Okay,
more
here
to it.
here it is. Here it is. This is the press release. Step into the chilling world of John Carpenter's genre-defining film, now transformed into a suspenseful one versus many stealth horror experience. Put on the iconic mask to become the ultimate slasher. Michael Myers stalking and executing the citizens of Haddonfield one by one, or striving to thwart Michael Myers' plans as civilians determined to save the unaware townsfolk before it's too late. Stick to the shadows as civilians seeking out Haddonfield residents to warn them and searching for a way to contact authorities as Michael Myers gives them a reason to fear the dark and cut the phone lines to prevent the police from ruining his favorite holiday. Whether playing solo in story mode against bots offline or facing others in online multiplayer, each mode rewards stealth, strategy, and skillful play. Staying true to the original film, Elphonic masterfully recreates the eerie atmosphere of Haddonfield across multiple maps and authentic locations with a haunting ambience and score inspired by the legendary movie. Halloween brings the terror home in a new experience that will keep both old and new generations looking over their shoulders. We are very excited to have partnered up with the great team at Ilphonic to finally bring the definitive digital version of Halloween and Michael Myers to video game fans everywhere, said Malaka Cad, president of Compass International Pictures. Halloween will unleash Michael Myers onto Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC, and the Epic Game Store in 2026. You can pre-order the game now, which makes me wonder how
I'm going
much
to look.
is the game. Um, Seeing if they have a price on this thing or not. Uh, I'll give them this. Their website is not terrible. Take that for what you will. Let's see.
Means I'm thinking it might come out in early 2026.
No, I think they'll hold it off till fall. And we're sorry, but they pay. I tried to go to the Xbox one, and there's no ability to go there to pre-order it. And I went to the PlayStation one,
PlayStation 1 too.
and there's
Yeah.
no ability to pre-order. This is going real well so far, guys. Give them some time. It might be running an hour behind. None of the links apparently are active. So I was
Page
hoping to
not
get a
found.
price there. But Matt, is there anything else going on in the comment section right now?
No. I'm kind of. We've been talking about the price and everything, and then Dustin just said pre-order. Ha 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 ha. And it's like Sean and I just said, it is not able to right now. But like you said, we're probably an hour behind.
What do you mean? Sorry, I'm not sure I follow. I'll have more attention here in a second. When I say this has been a disastrous, busy week in terms of content creation, the Halloween news dropped at the same time other news for the other channel dropped, and trying to do two channels here at once, well live, I'm not the person that is good at doing that stuff. So, wow. Yeah. I
I mean, we
appreciate the
should be.
press release. And also, it's important. Hey, if they get backlash over this, this is completely on them for their wording. They don't just call it one player mode or single player mode. They full on call it a story mode. If you're calling it a story mode, you had better be delivering a story experience to the fans. Like, you cannot call it story mode and then come out with, oh, here's this one player challenge mode and that's all it is. Then it's not story
No,
mode. It's a
no.
single player mode. Your official press release calls it a story mode. So now fans have every right to have the expectation of some level of story, whether it
Hmm.
be deep or not deep,
Right.
with this game. Dustin says it's just a bot mode. I know what you're saying in terms of that. In terms of what they said there, what they mean is the people you would go up against in story mode would be bots, which is not untrue of any game. Um, but the fact they call it a story mode, they better deliver something in terms of story. It's not hard. You don't have to have this massively deep story. You could have a 2 or 3 hour run of the mill, you know, person X from Haddonfield story and then have your online.
I mean, I wonder, and I know this would excite Sean to be if he can play in Lori mode. He can-
So the one, I mean, you and I talked about this on Patreon a while back. The only things that I know for certain that are in this game are Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. That does not mean that there's more. That
right.
doesn't mean that there isn't more. But the only ones that we can confirm that we heard about, and again, this is when Boss Team Games was working on it, was Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, and that the hospital would be an experience.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, like I said, the potential is there to get it right this time around, and it's up to the uh, Ilphonic, Gun, and to get it right.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us. I will probably do an official trailer reaction to this for Bannerman Banter. We're supposed to be live, anyways, on Patreon tonight with an Ahsoka season 1, episode 2 watch party. But there's a strong chance we might shift that over to the YouTube channel now and do an actual show about this. with further details. I'm going to see what we can find out in the next 5 or 6 hours, and see if we can bring anything else out. Maybe by then pre-orders have gone up, and we'll be able to attach a price to this thing. I'm with Dustin though. Straight lies is what I'm expecting in terms of them announcing a story mode and then us getting some single player challenge mode. Those two things are not one and the same.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, thanks for coming out here and doing this
All
with me
right.
today. It's always fun to talk Halloween. And it's I really I thought you and I did a well enough job, at least on the Curse of Thorn coverage, to temper expectations and to not allow people to think that this was going to be this insane thing.
Right.
I'm and again, my expectations were way down, and I think what we saw looks decent.
Right. It
But
does.
again, I understand. Like, you look at what Hellraiser does not nearly have the footprint Halloween does in mainstream media over the last decade,
Right.
and you look at the game they're getting, and you compare it to what we saw here. There's no comparison. Like, the Hellraiser game
No.
looks way better. It's
Yeah,
not
it
even
does.
close. But when comparing what we saw from this to, say, Texas Chainsaw and Friday the 13th, I think it looks a little better. But
Yeah.
again, I think people want more, and I don't blame them for feeling that way.
Right.
For Matt, for Dustin in the chat, everyone else, thanks for coming out. Hopefully, you enjoyed what you saw. It is Halloween news. And keep in mind, our stream last night talked about an October Halloween announcement. And I can confirm to you now, Zach and I are going to reveal what we believe that is on Monday's debut episode of Bannerman Banter right here on the channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And I can tell you right now, it had nothing to do with the video game. So there's a lot happening with the Halloween franchise right now, and we'll have to stay tuned for more. Like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications to all. For bonus content, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/The Mask of Fear, and we will see each and every one of you in the next video.